myself for how you stepped to me. Glock 23, oh 33. Won't put myself for now, nigga. Bet I go out like a G. On cap. Hey, what going on? This your boy Carlo. You know what I'm saying? We back again with another video. This time, I'm gonna do a quick little video. This is once again solely for either women or men that they is in the making of being a first time gun owner, either thinking about buying a gun, just either they nervous, they scared, you know, they got kids and stuff like that, so they don't know, you know, what's keeping them from actually going out to go get them a gun is where I'm gonna put the gun in, or you know, just the fact of not even having the simplest of gun knowledge and the way to hold a gun and anything like that. So I'm gonna kind of give them people pretty much a little breakdown, my point of view, you know, give them a little knowledge of what to do, how to hold a gun, the correct way to hold a gun, everything like that. I don't pretty much consider myself like a professional, or I might not be an elite gun advocate, but I know enough knowledge, you know, to where I feel like I can teach certain individuals how to get into the gun game, you know, so, or what to do, ways that they can go about. So, first of all, let's start out by saying this. Some people have an issue with, they don't know what caliber gun to go with. They don't know what caliber to start with. They don't know, you know, most people out here, especially for first time gun buyers, they either try to jump straight into like a 22 long rifle. You know what I'm saying? A little small, little 22 long rifle type pistol. Now let me get this straight too, cause we gonna really kind of talk about all the basic, the normal type of handgun calibers. You know, now me personally, I'm not shunning away from no 22 long rifle at all. I'm not shunning away from that at all. I'm not really even gonna talk bad about it at all. You know what I'm saying? Because we can do a little history about the 22. You know, it's been, you know, in the part of the history, as far as I can know, back into like the Al Capone, you know, in mafia days, well, you know, they'll do a hit, up close and personal hit with a 22 long rifle handgun, you know, for the sole purpose of, it's a small cartridge, it's a rimfire round at that. It's not centerfire like a 9mm, but it's very small. So all the gunpowder in it, when you shoot it, it's not the drastically loud handgun. Like, you can shoot a 22 without ear protection as far as outside. I wouldn't recommend doing it in the indoor range, you know what I'm saying? Or even in a house, you know, cause just having all these walls and stuff is not open. It might be even louder using a 22 in the house, but I'm sure it's still not even nowhere near as close as loud as anything as a 380 or up. But the mob used to, you know, mafia and stuff like that used to 22 caliber solely for the fact that it's not a loud gun, and you know, you kind of get away with it. You know what I'm saying? You hear a pap, you don't know what it is. Or, you know what I'm saying? You drop a broom on hardwood floor, it gonna sound like a 22. You know, so in the heat of the night, you know what I'm saying? You speak to that pap, and it ain't shocking to where you finna jump up out your sleep on some, oh, somebody got shot. You know what I'm saying? So they used to kind of use that, you know, for stuff like that. And I heard, you know what I'm saying, that some of the mob, I watched mob documentaries and stuff like that, it's not gonna leave, it didn't leave much of a mess, you know, especially like them, you know, when the mob bosses used to trick one of they finna go ahead and take off one of their old members, you know, they trick them and make them get in the back of the Lincoln or something like that, or in the front seat or something like that, you know, and the dude who got the little 22 clutch, he, you know, he talking to have a conversation that with that mud out pap, it ain't finna just have gore all over the front seat of the Lincoln You know what I'm saying? Which would make it hard for them to clean up. So they use the 22 for the fact that it didn't just have no crazy power like that to where it just made a big mess. But as far as speaking on it in a self-defense situation, especially let's say 2025, you know, you got a lot of overweight people out nowadays. You got some overweight people, obesity people. You got some folks that work out. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. With the 22, from a certain distance, it's not gonna really. Some self-defense situations require you to, you know, the whole sole purpose of being in a self-defense situation is to stop the attack. Stop, not kill. You know what I'm saying? Not attempt to kill, not nothing. However it panned out after the situation, long as it stopped the threat, your job is done. Rather if the dude, oh, okay, oh, you got it. You stop them from steady attacking you. You know what I'm saying? Even if the dude pepper, he take a permanent nap, you stop them. You know, that's the whole thing of it. It's to stop the threat, stop from whatever happening to you. That's the whole purpose of defending yourself. I had a homeboy that got hit with a 22. He was a big fella. You know what I'm saying? He got hit in his, you know, he got hit in the back with the 22 and close by the heart, like really by his heart. Like he got hit with the 22. It didn't faze my guy. My guy said, man, dang, a mosquito bit me. You know what I'm saying? I think the dude said he thought 2 bed bugs bit him or something. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's just his point of view and his story again, hit with a 22. Now you got your old Slim Jim type dude, that 22 might doing something. I just seen a video on Instagram of a dude did a drive-by with a 22. Couple of people got hit, they survived, but getting hit, period, is, I don't care what it is, as long as it ain't a BB gun. I don't think nobody want to get hit by no caliber, starting with a 22. Nobody want to get shot, period. And the recoil, first of all, recoil is little to none. You know what I'm saying? The little kid can get a 22 and put in some work with that thing and then go crazy at the range. And then but still, I took my gun license class. I seen the guy, he took his gun license class with a 22, and that dude had from possibly 7 to 10 yards that we were shooting at, bro had like a fist size shot right in, just all in here. Like he shot a perfect hole through it. Like you could just look through it. Everybody else, a 9, whatever else they had, you got hits all out. You know what I'm saying? You have some people that might have a grouping size about this big with a 9 or whatever the case might be, but the 22 is the recoil is so little to none. You get a little. It's all about shot placement. First of all, we can start by saying that. But that's the issue with 22. You know, I mean, realistically, when it comes to a self-defense situation, you want to try to go with something that's gonna get the job done. 380 is another gun. You know, it's a little bit underpowered than a 9mm, but it's enough firepower than the 22. Now the thing is, with the 380, depend on the, and then let's say this before I get into the 380. Most people like to think the smaller the gun, you know, the fact that, you know, most first-time gun owners, they think they scared of the big guns. They scared of the Glock 41 and Glock 34, 35s or whatever, because they think that, oh, it's finna go. If it ain't a 4.4 Bulldog or 357 Magnum or Desert Eagle or something crazy like that, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Actually, the longer the barrel, the less snappy it is, the less snappy the recoil is. You know, you can get more shot placement back on target, like, because the slide is going like this, so you'll get more shots better off with a longer gun. But most people think that, okay, it's a small little cute little gun, I can handle that more. You know, and they'll try to go for that. So the only sole purpose of a small handgun anyways is if you have a gun license, you want to have concealability. You want to have a gun, a small tiny gun, and as you know you well trained, you want a small gun around you, and with your gun license you can tuck and won't nobody know you have it. That's the sole purpose of a mini gun. But man, it's a gun called the Smith & Wesson. Yeah, the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. I went and did that. It's a little small little 380 by like this size. Perfect little pocket monster. Boy, even me, been shooting legitly since 2015. I didn't like the gun. The mug is snappy. I couldn't that thing hit. I couldn't shoot air with that mug at the range, bro. I suck with this gun.
I was gonna say, I used to target.
You got one more, no? He's had enough.
I had enough. I'm talking about the recoil crazy. It's tearing all this back of this up. My trigger finger is going crazy, and my guy Chris, who customized my Gucci gun, even he was saying the same thing, like, bro, I don't like that gun. It hurt my finger. It was snappy. We call it the bitey guard, not bodyguard, bite, because it was a little snappy one. So I had to throw that out there too. Like, just because a gun is small, don't mean you can handle it. It looks cute, and most of these gun stores they painting these Tiffany blue colored pistols and hot pink and razzle dazzle this and that just cause it's small and look cute. Oh girl, that's cute. That's the main one that's jumping. The blue ones, the prime example, Lil Scrappy. Scrappy dude. He a little one, but he got a lot of bite. He ain't turning down that. He ain't turning down no favor. That's exactly how them little guns is. So, for my understanding, for anybody who getting into the gun range, man, gun game, depend on your budget. You know, I recommend a Glock 19, a Smith & Wesson SDVE, value in hands. They even have the Taurus G3. That's about the cheapest. There's other cheap guns. You know, it's a whole list of cheap, compact size handguns. Cause you got micro compact, you got sub compact, which I have a sub compact gun. This Glock 26 is a sub compact Glock. We gonna get into this too. The Glock 19 is a compact gun. Then you have like Glock 17s, Glock 22s, stuff like that, them full size. It's plenty of options that you can use to have a compact gun. And then another thing also about compact guns, for new gun buyers, I'm sure y'all not just rushing to go get your gun license off the rip. If you check your local state laws, you might be in the open carry state, or you might be in a constitutional carry state. Like Texas, Atlanta, it's 26 states, if I'm not mistaken, that's constitutional carry. I wish Vegas would have had it, but then again, I got multi-state gun license, so it don't make it no different anyways. I'm good in a lot of states, but I wish it kind of was. But so, according to whatever state you live in, if open carry is legit, you get you a good little holster. You will want to open carry at least a compact gun. You know, the thing that get tricky with trying to open carry a sub-compact or a micro-compact gun is so small, you know, it don't take nothing for your shirt to go over there and boom, you messed up right there. You know what I'm saying? Just by your shirt covering up your gun and you supposed to be open carry, that's a lawbreaker. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it don't take much for you to break some type of law. It might not be as punishable as having a switch or anything like that, but you're gonna have to have some court issues. You know what I'm saying? Get your gun rights restricted for however long. So I wouldn't want to go through all that. So I will get you best off to get you a outside the waistband holster for a compact size gun. Now let's get back into the 380. It's a few, mostly 380 make micro compact type guns. I'm not too much of a fan of 380 like this, so I mean, they just brought the Glock 25, which is a Glock 19 size. They just let that, for the longest, that gun been outlawed or banned in the US. It was able for Mexico and all them other countries could get it. So, for people that is caliper scared, if you want a good compact size gun, I would say get the Glock 25 if you just scared. You know, you can get you a compact size gun, Glock 380. If I'm not mistaken, which is we gotta say this too also by bullet pricing. I can't discuss prices online, but you have to keep that in consideration too. The cheapest bullets out of all the list of bullets is 22s. 22 long rifle. You can get a whole lot of rounds of 22 with a little or nothing, but what's the person? What if you have to handle your business with a big show size attacker? You know what I'm saying? Just little 22s, tink, he go. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna really do much to him. So you want to be able to. You never know what size or what your attacker is on. We got to speak on that too. You might get attacked by a crackhead that's on PCP who amped up. Y'all done seen them police videos where people be out their mind and the police be using plus P's, 40 cal bullets. The whole self-defense thing is tricky, man. That's why shot placement is a must. And you never know what your mind gonna do when you in the heat of a moment. When your life's dependent on you never know what's gonna happen, bro. So you don't know if you gonna hit the right spots, vital spots. The heart, you know what I'm saying? The liver, the gut shot, head. We don't know. So that's another thing to keep in consideration too of picking the right caliber for your self-defense gun. Like I said, make sure you go to the gun store. I would recommend someone to go to the gun store, get a look, ask the gun people, because that's what they there for. They'll walk you around the gun store all day long, bro. If you just tell them you're new to the gun game and you thinking about getting into it, they'll help you out, bro. They'll, show you everything you need to know, let you test out different guns to get a feel for it. First of all, let's say that too. Get you a gun that feel good to your hand. I don't like the grip angle of the Glocks. I don't like that hump at the back. I like a flat, like a 1911 grip angle. I wish I had a 1911 to show y'all. I really got my other guns put up, but I'm just using like this, right? So most Glock, I customized this myself. I did a grip reduction on this gun. And then so I did a grip reduction on this gun. When I first bought this gun, anybody that know, it had this little hump at the back. It had like a small little hump at the back that's supposed to, when you grab the gun, the Glock supposed to fit around this little part of your thumb. Me personally, I don't like it, because I feel like when I draw it, my natural draw with a Glock with the hump on the back, I usually have to adjust my aim. But when I did a grip reduction, which was made it flat, straight back, which is how 1911 45 ACP, they come with a grip angle quite like this. With me, if I had this in a holster and I pulled it out and I went like this, I don't have to adjust nothing. It just, my point aim on point every time. Even with this little gun, point aim on point every time. So I had noticed that about myself. I noticed that I don't like guns that have the little arch in the back. I like a flat backer, but in real life, I like a woman with a nice butt. But when it comes to guns, I like flat back guns. I like guns with no butt. So try you a gun, a gun that fits your hand. Some guns, you gotta understand, some guns get wider. Some get wider like that from the sides. Some get wider in the grip, which this way, just because they look cool or somebody recommended to you and you got little baby hands, you got the, let me use my strong hand fingers. A Glock might not feel good to you. A 45 or Smith & Wesson Springfield or something like that might not feel good to you. test out a gun that feel good to your hand. Most gun stores have targets at the top. They'll let you get your point of aim. Look down the front of the sight. You know, see if you can aim and stuff like that at the gun store. Everything is cool. I'm trying to say a lot without making this long, and it's kind of hard to do that, so I might have to end up doing a part 2 about this. I don't know. Just do that. Go to the gun store, see what guns suit you best. Let them know that you're a first-time gun buyer or you considering buying a gun. See where you go with that. Check out round prices. I even give y'all a quick little story about myself. As I grew up, based off music, the music I was hearing, you got Boosie, you know what I'm saying? Even my dad, I was gonna say, my pops, everything was 40, 40K. Y'all got that 40 on me.
I keep my 40, nigga, at all times. I don't play no game, I will burn one of you boys.
You know what I'm saying? A 40K straight up off the rip. Just by rap music or just, now don't get me wrong, at the time, at a certain time, before we in 2025 now, once you get real familiar with the gun game and understand where technology is at, if technology is good with telephone, TVs, and you can do all this other stuff, technology also work with bullets. Scientifically, you know what I'm saying? Technology can also work with bullets. At one point in time, it depends on your age. If you a 90s baby, 80s baby and back, you already know. Sometimes you might be a 90 baby or 80 baby or 70 baby and don't know because you ain't tuned into the gun game. At some point in time, every police officer in the U.S. was carrying a 40 cal bullet. That's some whole nother history. The 40 cal was made based off the fact of a situation that happened back in the 80s when bank robbers, they had 223, 556, 76 tools, the bad guys, and the police had 38 special, 9 mil, they had a bunch of bull stuff. And they was tearing them dudes up, and them dudes was eating pretty much eating them bullets like they was french fries. You know, they were big old dudes, so the FBI wanted to make a caliber. The FBI accidentally made the 10 mil, which ended up coming out in the 90s. They made the 10 mil, but the female police officers and a couple of other police officers, they could not stand the recoil. At that time, they didn't have many gun options that took the 10 mil bullets. So they was limited. So the 10 mil was too much recoil, too powerful for them, and they didn't make certain guns that had enough capacity, you know, and actually they didn't really like it. They was like, oh yeah, this, you know, they were pretty much wussies. They were like, bro, we can't handle this, we can't handle the 10 mil. The people who made it, they went back in there and did what they did. All they did was shrunk the 10 mil cartridge, the casing, they shrunk it down to like this, the 10 mil in size comparison, the case, the head, all that. And then they had like a 10 mil. I mean, the 40, they came out with the Smith & Wesson, the 40 cal, in which it was about like this much of a difference from the 10 mil. And it still packed its punch. It had a little bit of it. The recoil was more manageable, but it had it packed the punch. They ran with that, so that's how the 40 was born. So back to the topic at hand. Everybody wanted 40. It was a showstopper, you know, but once technology started, now it was cool, a cool, short, fast, a very fast round, and depend on what type of bullet you use. Flat metal jacket, which is the ball head, the ones that everybody use at the range, hollow tips, you know, hollow points and stuff like that. Defense rounds. This is a plus P 9 mil right here, and that's why I say technology has stepped up. So now if you want to spice it up a little bit, you can go get you a plus P 9 mil bullet that kind of have the punching power of a 40 cal, but still going faster. So technology, they able to make certain bullets to keep up with the next. So everybody end up going from 40 back to 9 mil because of technology. So technology, the 9 mil is pretty much number one. It's the Floyd goddamn Mayweather of the bullets. Unstoppable, untouchable, it don't matter. I mean, you can get the big bullet. You got the 40 cal, you got the 357, you got the 45, stuff like that. You know, I would advise anybody, first time gun owners or buyers, work your way up, bro. At the minimum, start with a 38. Stop at the 9. Start with a 380, and stop at the 9. Once you get the hang of all that, you know, the recoil management and all that stuff, then you can work your way up to 40. I heard Coleon Noir, his first gun, him getting into the gun game, he shot 40. I know another dude, Chris TV, first time getting the game, 40. Same with me, my first time getting the game, 40. But I kind of cheated. I'm gonna tell y'all another story about me too, right? I cheated myself, right? When I was younger, back in the day, I shot guns before then. You know, like I shot 40s, 45s, 22, 25, stuff like that. But I had like a whole break from like 17, 38, 380, I mean to say. But from my teenage, that was my teenage years. So from my teenage years all the way to about, I was 24, I ain't had no dealings with guns. I was strictly punching them down. I had a situation where I punched somebody down, they couldn't stand the fight, they brought guns, and I vowed to never let myself be in a situation where I don't have a gun to defend myself after a fight. So I started carrying a gun. But at this time, I done got spooked. I had a situation that happened in my life that pretty much made me have PTSD. You know what I'm saying? I was involved in a shootout back in 2008. You know what I'm saying? And I pretty much got PTSD from it. No, I didn't get shot, but it was so close to me that it kind of gave me PTSD to where I was like, forget guns. But then I had to get back to a gun because people was done fighting them. So I had got so scared of guns, bro. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do the 40. I didn't want to do that, and I tricked myself going back to thinking the littler the gun is, it's the easier to shoot. And my crazy tail ended up shooting the Glock 42. I think they just came out with the Glock 42. It was a 380. And really, I tried to go back to what I was more familiar with when I was in my teen days. So I do a Glock 42. I think it was a 6-8 round or something like that. Not even knowing, even in that gun, snappy. But I kind of already had a little knowledge still through my PTSD. I was able to, you know what I'm saying, do the best I can. And it woke me up, boom. Right after that, it woke me up. And I jumped back to the 40, you know what I'm saying? So my first realistic, legit gun that I bought, I went and bought me a Gen 2 Glock 23C 40 cal. Bought that mug when I stayed in Utah, got it from the pawn shop. You know what I'm saying? So I jumped back in 40 and it was a little, bullets was certain price, too snappy. I was getting discouraged because I wasn't really just good at shooting like that. I was teaching myself, so my shots was crazy. So I had to, you know, I was like, man, if I walk around with this 40 without, you know, so I could have just stuck with it and practiced. Now where I'm at now, I can shoot whatever gun and I'm doing what I'm doing. But at that time, I was discouraged because I didn't know. I'm like, bro, I suck. So I ended up trading the 23 in for Glock 17. I traded that Glock the 23 in for 17. That's when I learned that the longer the gun, the flatter the recoil is. I felt like John Wick with that 17. That's a big gun. So it's gonna be kind of hard to maneuver around with it. But if you over carry it is what it is, it's just gonna be a big old gun. So that's why I say, man, test out your guns.
Working due to the scale, I just might send you a brick through the mail. Hop on the road, take a trip anywhere. I'ma bust down my wrist once I bust down the bill.